What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. I'm Chad Medved. Welcome to the show. First thing is first, if you haven't yet, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Huge help for your boy. 5 stars if you'd be so kind. Thanks in advance. I don't know for sure, but I know that the Turner's limited edition chocolate marshmallow milk I haven't had it at my gas station. It was on deck all the time. I'd walk in there and they'd always have a full stock, and they haven't had it. I went 2 days in a row and they haven't had it. So I think the well is drying up, if you know what I mean. So run on down to your store and see if you could grab one before they're gone, and maybe let me know where you find it, because I need to get one more fix before it's out. One important thing to cover before we get into the episode. Next week, I am taking a siesta. So next week we will not have an episode. I'm going to the beach. You know what I mean? I'm going on vacation. You know, I'm vaxxed and waxed, baby. I'm ready to get it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go down to the beach with a couple of my friends and my wife, and I am going to enjoy myself, which means I'm not putting out an episode next week. I'm sorry. I got good friends over at the Anybody Can Do This show. They drop episodes on Thursday. Hop on over to those guys and grab an episode if you're looking for something to listen to on Thursday. My apologies, but you know, I'm taking a mental health week, but I'll be back the week after with some fire shit. But this week I have a great guest, and almost like a mysterious guest, I would say, because before he came to my house, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know his name. I only knew his Instagram handle, @WakeUpPGH. And if you don't know who that is, and if you do know who that is, WakeUpPGH is an Instagram page that provides you with the most visually pleasing and the most delicious looking breakfast sandwiches that I've seen in a while. And it has a nice view right in front of the bridges. And it's just a local guy from Pittsburgh in his 30s that just loves breakfast. And I hit him up, and, you know, I saw this page like getting a buzz from all these people, food bloggers and everything. And I was like, who the hell is making these like delicious sandwiches? Because, you know, I wanted to go get one myself, and I was like, where's this person getting them from? So I was creeping on him a little bit, and then I see that it's just this guy making them in his kitchen, and then that turned into a bigger following on Instagram, and that turned into a couple pop-ups where he's slinging breakfast crunch wraps, and it's just, you know, it was wild. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, let's sit down and talk about it. I love breakfast more than a lot of people, I would feel, and I would love to speak to someone who is, you know, putting so much time and effort into a page that loves breakfast sandwiches. You know, who doesn't love that? So I found out his name is Zach. You know, I hit up Zach and I was like, yo, dude, let's sit down, let's talk about it. But we did something cool. So last second, I was like, Zach, I'm thinking I am going to make you some breakfast sandwiches, because this guy's kind of like, that's what he's known for, obviously. So I wanted to flip it a little bit in the kitchen. And he was like, all right, cool. That sounds good. Let me make the crunch wrap in your kitchen. And I was like, fuck yeah, like this is going to be awesome. You know, so me and him were in the kitchen, cooked each other some breakfast sandwiches, and we enjoy them throughout the episode. You'll hear a little but you know it's good, and you're going to be jealous that you don't have one of them. But if you hop on over to his Instagram page @WakeUpPGH, you will see what I mean. He's kind of known for these breakfast crunch wraps, which were absolutely insane whenever I was eating them. But yeah, it was just a great conversation. You know what I mean? He's someone who never really delved into social media, and now he's kind of like, you know, he made a Instagram page on breakfast sandwiches. So it's kind of like, it's interesting to hear how he kind of jumps into this world, and kind of how this like manifested into being what it is today, which is still kind of fresh. You know, he's only been doing this for 10 months, and you know, who knows what's going to happen. I'm thinking about, you know, me and him were talking about maybe putting together a little event or some shit like that. So maybe you'll see something in the future. But I'm excited to drop this episode. So without further ado, episode 166 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me and Zach Navarro of Wake Up PGH. Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll call you right back podcast. All right. Cue some of these up. Which ones do you want to go for first?
I'm going to try I'm going to go sausage egg bagel. Is that what that is over there?
Yeah. That's a sausage egg bagel, plain bagel. That's not sausage. That's actually, that's ground meat. That's a burger.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's a burger.
Which one you want?
Let me get yours.
There you go.
All right. So anyone that's listening, there's going to be mouth noises here. We're trying these out. I made 3 different breakfast sandwiches, and I got to try your famous Crunch Wrap or breakfast. Do you have a famous name for this?
That's it. I just call it the Crunch Wrap. It was basically an idea, obviously Taco Bell. So
Yeah.
But I didn't even know they did breakfast Crunch Wraps at the time.
I've never had a breakfast from Taco Bell.
Yeah, for now it's
Is it pretty good?
Crunch Wrap. I have not. No, never had one.
Never had one.
No.
Listen, I don't want you to lie to me. I want you to be 100% with me.
I like it.
I ain't a bitch. I'll take it. If you don't like it, I want you to tell me.
I like it. I do.
That one got truffle cheese on it. Black truffle cheese. And just a simple fried egg and a burger.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I appreciate it.
Like I said, simple's best.
Oh, there's some sautéed onions on there too. I get a little bit crazy in the kitchen a little bit. The Crunch Wrap. Now I'll tell you exactly why I love this. So, I used to be someone who cooked eggs to their entirety. Cooked them to the point where they were just they looked like pieces of Play-Doh. They would break apart. They were so cooked that they were breaking apart. I watched me and my wife in quarantine got into Gordon Ramsay. Hilarious, funniest. And I watched his video on how to make scrambled eggs. And they basically looked almost like a porridge. They're not like cooked a lot. He had them in a saucepan. Heat. He would pull it off the heat. Keep stirring, and it was like creamy almost.
That's right.
And then I was like, that don't even look done. So my wife ended up started making them, and I was like, I ain't eating them fucking eggs. They're not done.
That's right.
And she was like, well, I ain't making them any other way. So for about a couple months, I just kept making my own eggs, and then I would make her she would make her own eggs because she had a preference and I had a preference. I then tried it. Amazing. It's
the best.
It's the best way to have an egg.
It is. That's what
That's
I watched
what these
too.
are.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's what I was going for. So, like I said, it's simple. With breakfast sandwiches, I like my bacon, egg, and cheese. I like sausage, egg, and cheese. I like.
What do you prefer though? I mean, that's your standard bacon, egg, and cheese or sausage, egg, and cheese.
Yes, and I like. It depends on the day, but sausage usually wins.
I don't know if I've ever chosen bacon, egg, and cheese in my entire life. It's always a second choice. So one of the most slept on breakfast sandwiches of all time, Big Daddy's Donuts in Crafton. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They're this slept on place. Everyone's always like, oh my God, Better Made Donuts. But you ever hear of them?
I have not, no.
Better Made Donuts is like right on Steubenville Pike or Steubenville. And it's like like a staple kind of, like a Pittsburgh staple. It looks like it's a shanty, just it looks like a garage with a line out there every single weekend. Donuts are amazing, but, this place up the road is like a nice little old school diner feel. Me and my wife just drifted in there one day whenever we moved over. This dude got the best breakfast sandwiches. They're so good. But it's definitely a place to try.
Yeah, I'll put it on my list. I'm always looking for recommendations.
Do you just have a huge list now?
I'm trying to. Pittsburgh's a lot different than most places. You have what I consider Pittsburgh as like blue collar diner scene. So you got your Kelly O's, you got DeLuca's, you got Pamela's, and they're all good, but Pittsburgh doesn't have a breakfast sandwich scene. There's really not that many places. So,
do you think it's developing?
I think I've seen more and more over the past years. There's a lot of these bakery places.
Yeah.
There's a food truck now.
First place that I think of is 350 Degree.
350 Degree. That's the big one, which I have not yet tried.
I've never had one yet either.
No,
it's a commitment to go there for me. So it's like, it's hard to get there for me. But
yeah.
I love a breakfast sandwich, but I feel like, you just started to see these like, back in the day, like we had this place in McKeesport, it was called Stan's. Okay. Your typical like old school diner, old ladies, long fingernails, smelled like cigarettes, but it was like everywhere everyone wanted to go. Sundays after church, you were there. Now things are like developing. They went through like some metamorphosis where it's like, some people are still stuck in the past and they're still like, the bacon, eggs, and cheese, and just with the toast, with the little packets of jam.
That's right.
But then there's people that are getting crazy, putting kale on shit, putting like onion butter.
It's getting intense.
It's getting intense, dude. It's like overwhelming.
No, I agree. It's there's a lot of places out there that do the kale, the mixed greens, tomatoes, everything.
I had a salad one time. It had lemon juice on it and like oil. It was good, but it was just like, I don't want that for breakfast.
You just want an Italian dressing, though.
I don't want salad at all for breakfast.
Yeah.
I wanted a big ass plate of corned beef hash or just or home fries.
Yeah. See, I agree. So there's, I like at DeLuca's, they have their standard sausage, egg, and cheese or bacon comes with their lettuce, tomato, onion, and a little aioli or mayo they have. And I like that. Mm-hmm. That's okay with me. And the other places, they get fancy. It's a little bit pricey for a breakfast sandwich. So that's one thing I see here in Pittsburgh is it's not uncommon to spend $10, $12, $14 for a breakfast sandwich, which, again, I just want whether it's the piece of bread, give me English muffin, bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. Nothing special.
I need your preference, though. Like, are you an English muffin or are you what do you prefer is your bread choice?
So English muffin, I think, is my number one.
Wow.
Or a good bagel. So if you're familiar with Mediterra, Mediterra has their bakehouse. They do tons of stuff. But their English muffins
are breathtaking.
Hands down,
the best in the city. You ain't getting no better than that.
Unbelievable. No. And they're big. I try to just mimic making a McDonald's muffin. And with those, they're bigger. They taste good. Really, it overpowers everything. It makes, you don't even taste the eggs.
100%.
They are the best. Dynamite.
Like I was telling you before, so, what we just did was we created a couple things in my kitchen before we started recording this. So I feel like we have to let everyone know what this is because we're going to post a bunch of pictures. Okay, so I hit up Zach. I just told you I didn't know your name at first. I just knew you as your Instagram name. What's your Instagram tag? While you finish that delicious sandwich.
It is at WakeUpPGH.
Okay, so people obviously... if they are not, disconnected with the city, you have been buzzing. I've been seeing these like very, very like beautiful looking pictures with a nice city background of just some fire ass breakfast sandwiches. And you're like, I'm a foodie. So I want to touch all the food in the city and I want to try it. I want to enjoy it and I want to see what all the buzz is about. Right. So you see people, posting your shit up and I'm like, geez, I was like, where is this person getting this breakfast sandwich from? So I creep a little bit and I try to see if there's a place that you're getting these that I don't know about yet, but it turns out you're just making the fucking things.
That's right. It was really natural when I first started it really came from, I was looking for a breakfast page in Pittsburgh. I'm typing in everything I could think of to find the breakfast guy or whoever, and there was nothing. So then I had this idea, all right, I'm going to run around the city and rate breakfast sandwiches, which, the idea lasted like a day.
When did this start, though?
It's been about 10 months.
10 months. So it's recent.
Yeah, so it's recent, and when it took off, it started with I had posted some of my breakfast sandwiches to fill for content. So I started posting a picture and, a few I was making. And then those are the ones that got the likes. They got the comments. They got the interest from people.
Yeah.
And that's when it started. Hey, where do I get it? And I was fortunate enough, a blogger reached out to me and said, look, I'll come try one, which I was blown away. I thought it was awkward or weird to have someone coming down. They came down, posted a picture.
Yeah.
And then it was, 30 followers more. And then
when
the
you
next
started this,
blogger.
you had how many? Like
I think in the first month, I only had like 100 followers.
Okay.
And I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to use Instagram. I didn't know how to network on
because you were
that
telling
type of
me
platform.
that you don't use social media really.
I don't. My, I do have social media, but for me, I'll post a picture of my dog, or I love music, so I'll post like a live music video that no one gives a shit about, right? And
almost like Goo Goo Dolls, like Iris in the rain.
Not that bad, but
oh my god!
But yeah, no, so I don't use it. And then this was just it was different, and it started to grow. People asked where they could get them, and I just kept messing around with it. And then one day I decided, you know what, maybe I'll do an event and I'll donate the money. And since the pandemic was going on, everyone was shut down, I thought this would be a cool way to give it back. I'll do an event, I'll charge people for the sandwiches, and we'll donate the money, which we did. But that week I put up a story, said, hey, I think this is what I'm going to do. Here's the idea. And I got like 75 people.
Wow.
Responding. They're coming down to get my breakfast sandwich. And I'm like, this is insane.
Jeez.
So then after that one happened, people are like, do you do these events? Can you do an event? So every, now and then, once a month, once every month and a half, we'll do an event. That's all pickup only, on the hour, every hour. And we keep it simple. Bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. We make the crunch wraps that you got to try here.
Unreal.
People
what was in that?
That was just all just
sausage, cheese, and egg.
Dice up the sausage. And,
you use a specific kind?
I've used a bunch. I go with Bob Evans has a good brand of sausage. Uncle Charlie's is Pittsburgh-based here. So I use theirs quite a bit, yeah. And
I didn't know that was good. Pittsburgh.
And Jimmy Dean as well. So I'll go between all three, or I'll go down to the Strip District meats.
Yeah.
And I like to get my stuff from there.
Wow.
So it's, again, simple, but the key with them is the tortillas from Rainiers in the Strip District. And they make really dynamite flour tortillas, and it really makes the wrap. And people love them. So
they're absolutely great.
I'll do it. And, to this day, I think it's weird. It's awkward for me to talk about it. I almost get embarrassed talking about it.
I know, right?
How did I get here? But it allowed me to meet a ton of people, so I can't complain.
Yeah, you can't complain, right? It's like I feel like that's like, almost like a dream job is to rate food. Anthony Bourdain had the greatest job in the world, I feel.
Yeah,
what is better than going around learning, from the real salt of the earth people and eating the real the real food. Like, instead of just like, everyone goes and tours someplace and they're like, oh, if someone comes to Pittsburgh, they're like, oh, I'm going to go over Permanis. And, you're like, Permanis is cool. But it's like, often people don't, talk about Salem's and stuff like that in the Strip. And you're just like, there's so many other places that are like overshadowed by these like big names. And I don't know. It's like I want those places. Like, yeah, the big names are cool, but it's like I want those places.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The hidden gems.
That'd be great. Pittsburgh has, over the past year, I'd say.
I'm taking another half of this.
Oh, please do,
because this is really, really great.
I'm happy to hear that review.
Yeah, it is. This is a good one. The eggs are what wins it for me. The eggs and everything blended together nicely, and these are. The wraps are big enough that they stick together.
Yes.
You got no, it's not compromised. Shit's not falling out.
That's
so
right.
This is the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the review I want to hear. And usually, and even if I get any sandwiches, if you get like a pulled chicken, pulled pork, or anything that you bite into and shit's squirting out the sides, I don't like that.
Almost exactly like how mine are right now.
I don't think they're that bad. But,
which one do you have there now?
This second one, that's also a burger too, right?
Yeah, that's a burger with an egg, some regular cheddar cheese on that one, just a Land O'Lakes cheddar, Hey, I just had some shit. I was just throwing it together.
Yeah, it works. I like it.
I'm excited to try the onion one, though. Not bad, right?
Really good.
Takes a lot of work to get this big.
I may need you to come down and help me on a Saturday one of these days making
Let me know. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm definitely a master of none, but I get it cracking in the kitchen.
I know what you mean there.
How important is bread for you, though? Like, are you good with a Thomas English muffin, or do you want something, more upscale?
So I buy them. I mean, I use them. I like them. I do like the, like I said, Mediterra, all their breads, really good.
Yeah.
So for me, the bread, it makes it a lot. Just like if you get a good bagel, a good New York bagel.
Yeah.
That's, you're biting into, it's not rock hard. It makes a sandwich. I like anything that could be crisped up, toasted, that keeps the sandwich together.
Yeah.
It makes it for me. So bread is important, yeah.
It's interesting because whenever I was younger, I never gave a shit about bread. I was never someone who, like, I still don't order toast. Like, if I have an option, I just would rather have untoasted bread. Mm-hmm. I just like it a little bit better. It doesn't cut the roof of my mouth. But in my later years, I've been appreciating the varieties of breads that people have. In the pandemic, I dipped into making sourdough bread. So it's like, it kind of sparked my interest on like wanting to, kind of realize what's good and what ain't.
That's right. Yeah. It's an art.
It is. It's crazy. It's an art.
It's really different. It's, but like I said, I really didn't. Bread was never that important to me either.
Yeah.
Breakfast, I would always just get like a over-the-counter wheat bread.
Yeah.
Or Italian bread.
Is that what it is? You would order an Italian or like a wheat?
I would usually get an Italian. So similar. The Mancini's. Yeah. I love Mancini's, obviously.
Same.
Pittsburgh-based here, which is great. But their bread, they use it, I believe, at DeLuca's and the other places, and it's good. It's never bad.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the North Hills of Pittsburgh.
So whenever you were growing up, like younger, like what kind of shit were you into? It's like, do you play sports? Were you hunting and shit?
I was a sports guy. I played sports in high school, and we grew up on a street that was like a dead end, had about 22 homes, and there was all kids that were around my age. So
that's awesome.
It wasn't uncommon for us to be playing 8 different sports a day. Hockey for an hour, then we're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Then we're going playing wiffle ball, then, release at nighttime. So I was active. So
man, that was the shit. Release?
It was really good. I miss it.
You think kids nowadays play that?
Maybe on their phones.
It's heartbreaking to think about that because we called it manhunt.
Uh-huh.
That was the funnest thing in the world. It's just hide and seek, but you can get crazy. Whenever you're playing hide and seek as like a 5, 6, 7-year-old, you can't climb on top of shit. I remember I climbed on a vending machine one time and I wrapped a construction bag around me, like a contractor bag. Ain't a person. You already know I freed everyone.
Yeah.
But it's like kids nowadays don't play that shit. It's wild to me.
I don't think they do. It's funny you mention that because I'm actually moving my mother right now, and we just finished the move this past Saturday.
Yeah.
But one of the things we talked about, we were standing outside on my deck, and I'm looking around the yard, and I'm like, man, I remember all these games of release and the sports we played, but that's just what we did. It was
different
way before social media and all the
video
other
games
out there. Yeah, so video games was definitely a big part, but that and sports, and I love music. I play guitar. I like to sing. And
oh, really?
Music's it's my everything. So.
Now, when you were coming up, like I grew up in Elizabeth, we had like some staples, as you would call it. Like we had a place called the Caboose. That was like something that everyone talked about. We had like, that was like hot dogs, hamburgers, and French fries. It was cheaper, but it was like, people loved it because you could go get 2 hot dogs, fries, and a drink for like $5. And it was good. And then we had places like DeCarlo's Market was like a little Italian market that had like, the best hoagies that you would ever get. And then we had like delis that had some shit in there. But, did you have staples like growing up that you guys like would go to all the time?
There's not much where I live. It's Shaler Township, and there's a few places that were around. At the bottom of our street, there's a place called Casey's Restaurant Lounge, which was just standard. pizza, hoagies, all that stuff, but it was always available. And Frank's Pizza. Frank's Pizza. Buffalo chicken pizza is what everyone loves. So that's more so in my later years here. But that was a big place we went to. But, nothing that if someone said, hey, I'm going to be by your area, like, where do you go? Where's the staple? Where's the hole in the wall? There really wasn't one. So,
were you a foodie growing up, or were you like a picky kid?
I ate everything. My parents were, if you don't eat it, you're not eating. So, that's how it was. But I loved everything. I loved my pizza. I love my breakfast sandwiches, obviously.
Always been a breakfast guy?
I have. It's every day I would wake up and make a breakfast sandwich. It was usually just eggs and cheese.
Yeah.
And that was it. But I did it all through college, and any time I lived, that was the first thing I did. Coffee and a breakfast sandwich.
It weirds me out when people are like, oh, I'm not a breakfast guy. Like, I wake up, I can't eat nothing. And I'm just like, God, there ain't nothing I love more.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And Pittsburgh, I think, is coming around on that. But a lot of people I meet don't eat breakfast, or they don't like breakfast sandwiches. I'd eat it every meal. I would.
Well, a lot of people are healthy now.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a lot of people are into intermittent fasting and shit. And it's God, it's like some days I just want to wake up and because I get up early all the time. By like 8 o'clock, I'll get up at 6 a.m. By 8 o'clock, I'm starving. So it's like, I just want a nice coffee, and I want a nice plate of breakfast. And that was like, in Crafton, I lived next to Hanlon's Diner. That's like a place that me and my wife would go every single weekend. It's like I always wanted a place that was like my own. You know what I mean? Like, go in there, people knew your name. Right. And like, I wanted to have the goal of someone being like, your usual. And I just want to be like, fuck yeah, Karen.
Give it to me.
I want that. It's like, you already know I want that. Coffee, 2 eggs, all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And like, that was like my goal. I haven't been able to find one yet. We just moved here. So like, I haven't really found any diners out this way. That's pretty much the only downfall of being out here is like, you don't have that many foodie areas.
That's right.
You got some over in McMurray, but nothing super crazy.
That's right. Yeah, it's picked up. I'm fortunate where we live is in the city, and between new places and food trucks, especially in Pittsburgh over the past 2-3 years, food trucks have exploded.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic and some of the brick and mortar places not doing too well, I just think it's the new thing. So there's something to be said about the food truck. I think once you have them, it's someone's passion. It's two people who put their life savings into making whatever the hell it is they're making. They have a burger recipe. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You go to a restaurant sometimes and there's 75 items on the menu. It's like, what is all this?
It's crazy.
How do you make pizza, lasagna, and something what is your core thing? So
like what are you good at?
Have exploded.
Yeah,
and
that's a good way to think about that.
Breweries and
I never thought about that. It's like people in restaurants might have usually a menu that has 1,000 things on it. That's what Gordon Ramsay he always says. It's like, why the fuck is there 70 pages of shit? He was like, find something what you're good at and just get better at it.
That's right.
But that's interesting to think about food trucks. Like kind of. They can't have a full menu of like craziness. Like they pick their bread and butter and they put it on there. That's a good. I never thought about that.
People want, and anymore. I think with over time, I feel like the service industry has like declined a little bit, just with like the younger generation of people, and sometimes you don't get the best service or the quickest food, which is out of their control. But I think the food trucks, they're usually inexpensive. You don't have to wait too long. You're not sitting down.
It's
you
an experience.
Go when you want. You leave when you want.
Yeah, and it's an experience.
It's an experience. So they picked up a ton. And I mean, I would love, there's one breakfast food truck in Pittsburgh called Mims, which I've not been able to go to yet. I believe that's what it is.
MIMS?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
And I've seen them around. They, I haven't been able to go to that one yet. There's another pop-up event people that called Wise County Biscuits, which I've had their biscuits. They're unbelievable. They're really good.
I've definitely heard about them.
They're good. So I've explored that option. I thought, could I do a food truck? And I'd be able, my idea was, all right, you can sell in the morning, obviously, and go to a place like Oakland, a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah.
So you sell 150 sandwiches, but then also people don't mind it at nighttime. So you could go to a brewery. So you could really.
That's a good idea.
I thought it would kick ass to have that type of truck.
I would eat breakfast I could eat breakfast at any point of the day.
Yeah, I would. I do.
Yeah, I do. Now, for you to be like someone, obviously you had to be some sort of a foodie before you started this page. Like how does this, I know you said that you wanted to find someone who was like putting you onto the good breakfast stuff. You said you wanted to like start rating breakfast sandwiches. Like, what is that jump? I don't know. I feel like it would be so overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed enough of it on myself that I am, I've been active on social media since the beginning, really. I kind of have had my toe dipped in there. I feel like it would be so overwhelming to just like try to dive into that world of like kind of being, basically like a food influencer almost.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's people look at your page because, they want to see what you have. And I mean, you call it as it is, that's an influencer in some way. So like, what's that thought process for you to be like that?
I'd love to get there. I wish I could make that leap to do the videos, do the different blog postings, go rate sandwiches. Like that was one of my next ideas. Like, all right, I got to do something different than the picture behind the city, or in front of the city. But, I hate my voice. I hate being on camera. I don't like pictures. I don't like videos. So it's like, I just can't do that. And I haven't been able to make the leap yet, but most of the bloggers that are out there that do the videos, God bless them, because it takes a lot of time.
It does.
It takes the balls to get in front of the camera and do it. And, they're really good at what they do. And that's why it sells. And that's why people follow their pages. But I'm hoping, soon to make some videos, do some different things. I personally would love to do exactly what you said. I want to go show up at the restaurant, order my standard, what I like, and shoot a video. But
that would be cool.
We'll see. It's coming.
All good things come in time. This is new for you to only have been doing this for 10 months now. It's like you're kind of fine tuning how you want things to be.
That's right.
I've changed my shit since I started because, you don't know what you prefer. You don't know what you like most. And I thought that it was cool to like, I didn't know too much about you beforehand, but it's cool to hear how that was like, how this is like so new, because I don't know, it's cool to have something to like kind of channel your energy into, because I mean, if you're an adult, everyone gets stuck in their 9 to 5, everyone's working, it's easy to get caught in those 40 hours and just let everything else fall to the wayside, all creativity, anything like that. But for you to just even, as dumb as it sounds, I have an Instagram page, like, people like I run everything off of my Instagram, and it's kind of sounds dumb that I'm like looking at it all the time, but it's like, God, it's like kind of like a business. I want to keep like, you're incubating this business. Now, was it like a big learning curve for you? Like, did you have any sort of like anxieties about like, being current and like keeping, I got to post at least this many, Yeah,
I mean, it was a huge learning curve when I first started. Again, like no intentions, none. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't utilize my social media. And I just started with a picture. And then, one day I was taking a picture outside of my window and I'm looking at the city and I'm like, well, maybe I'll put the sandwich in front of the city. And that took off. And the way you write stuff, the way you tag people, the hashtags, it's overwhelming.
It's an art form.
It is. And it's a lot different. But, to your point, I consider myself like a creative person. I write music and like to do stuff like that. So it's another outlet.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I needed to have it. And I think the more and more things progress, I'm going to try to differentiate and make things a little bit more, intimate and try to do the videos and things like that. But it's a good outlet. It's something to do. I try to make it as least time consuming as I can, but
it still looks good. Like, I feel like what you put out looks good. It has a consistent look. Anytime you're slicing the sandwich, like it always looks, it looks like you have care. Like the one that you posted today, all the onions were lined up in a certain, in a certain way. I don't know. I feel like people appreciate the attention to detail for that stuff.
I hope so. Yeah, I had, that stuff was kind of by accident, but I get asked a lot about the picture taking, what camera I'm using, and I have an iPhone 11. I don't even know what version it is, and I never take any pictures. So it was just, standard pictures, hopefully the sun's shining in the right direction, and then you do some stuff and you add it in between. And, a lot of people seem to like it.
If you think about it, like from your end of it all, it's like, this isn't something that you're like kind of like well versed in. So it's like those questions are so like, it's kind of like, that's erroneous almost.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone wants to know. It's like how, like what's the method behind the madness of all that stuff? Because I'm someone who does that as well. Like I want to know, like, what are you using are you using something different that I could be using to make my thing better?
Yeah.
That's really what everyone's like doing.
That's right.
I mean, it's just an iPhone. You're just shooting all this with an iPhone and good light.
Yeah, iPhone, good lighting. I try to, wait till a certain time in the morning, and that's it. I found that if you take, which I'm sure a lot of people do, you can take 25 pictures of something. Well, it's going to take you an hour to figure out which one you're going to use. And I try to just say, you know what? I'm snapping 5 pictures.
Whichever one's
I have
good.
an idea what I'm going to do, and I usually don't edit them that much. I may change a couple of the, the features on the things, but again, that was new to me. So I try to
You're not
make
like uploading it into Photoshop.
Nah, I don't do any of that. I keep it quick, as quick as I can.
That's exhausting.
One of the, there's a gentleman, Adam Miller on his name is. He's one of the, a foodie and blogger, and he does a lot of professional photography. Yeah, so he's well known in the city. He's a professional, but he had reached out to me one time, and he actually came over and tried some of my stuff. But one of the questions he had asked was, do you prep, and how do you make them look like they are? And in my head, I took that as a compliment. Like, all right, the food photographer is asking me if I do this or prop this up, and the answer is I really don't. I try to make them as simple as I can.
You're conscious of it while you construct them, though.
Yeah, so
just you want to keep them. You're not just letting shit spread all over the place. It's like you're kind of keeping some sort of attention to how you're placing things.
I do.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So, I try not to spend too much time on it, but,
do you prep as far as like what, I'm going to make this kind of sandwich this week. I'm going to make this cause now obviously your page is, picking up more traction. You can't just like post one thing, wait a month and then post another.
That's right.
You're pretty much, you're killing yourself, but it's, eventually you're going to have to start you don't have to start planning, but you're like, I'm going to need to make this, and planning makes things easier. Are you to that point yet?
I've gotten there. I'm at the point where, I try to make sure that I have something at all times that I can make, and I don't get too in depth with what I'm buying, how I'm going to make it, when I'm going to take the picture. I was at that point early on that I posted a picture every single day.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what it, took to grow.
Yeah.
But, over time, I may post one out of a week, maybe 5 times a week, miss a day or 2, or maybe even less.
You try to post every day, though?
I've tried, yeah. Most recently, I think it's become a little bit less, so I'll miss 2 days, 3 days here and there. But, you get burned out with it. I mean,
hell yeah.
Like I said, God bless the people that do it for a living. It's a lot of work. It can be a pain in the ass. It can be tiring. You can spend hours, looking at stuff, editing stuff. The people that are doing the videos, the crazy pictures, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's exhausting to even. I mean, this is exhausting to do.
I'm sure.
The podcast shit is exhausting in itself. But you get into video editing, you get into all this wild shit. It's too overwhelming to almost even want to start it. But you obviously enjoy it. But you usually have I went back and I creeped all your different posts, and I see like how you kind of put things together. I like the variety. You see some sunny side eggs in there. Right. You see some a good mix of everything. Like, are you someone that likes that variety in your everyday life, or do you kind of, are you kind of like getting out there just for the sake of, creative purposes?
Yeah, I think it's, this specifically is definitely a creative outlet for me. Everyday life, I'm pretty simple in what I do. I like
what's your everyday sandwich that you make? Like if you didn't have to do anything.
If I didn't have to do anything, breakfast wise would be a sausage, egg, and cheese for sure.
Just like that.
Yeah, simple. And I think that's part of the problem with my page is because you learn that what you like obviously necessarily isn't what everyone else likes. So
Absolutely.
I'd be posting sausage, egg, and cheese every day. Like I love.
And everyone's like, "Where the fuck is the bacon?"
Yeah, so you have to venture out, and I've noticed that it's funny how it works. I did a photo that had macaroni and cheese. I must have had too much to drink the night before, and I'm like, I'm going to put macaroni and cheese, bacon, and that post gets 400 likes. Or
something crazy.
And so you do the different ones, and you realize like, all right, you have to be different. So I do. I try to reach out a little bit. I've been slacking as of late, but I'm going to try to plan some things for the near future here where I'm really targeting, hey, go get this specific type of bread or use a different type of meat.
Collaborations between all that.
So you have to, and
keep
when I look at the page again, I'm like, oh, this looks great. But, you can tell when the pick doesn't do so well.
It's a good, it starts the ball rolling. I mean, you have this outlet now where it's like you have a reason to go and like, mingle with all these different people, whether it be Mediterra, whether it be, Mancini's, it's cool now because, you can get involved with all these people, get different produce and like do all that stuff. Who knows? I mean, like, I get it. Like, I was curious on how, like your mindset about it, whether you were someone who was like, I got to get these different products and these different produce and like all this shit, or if you're just someone that's kind of like throwing together with what you got the best way. But I don't know. It's cool because this is like, you got a wide range of what you could do with this.
That's right.
I mean, in the end, it's a sandwich Instagram.
That's right.
But there's so many opportunities, work with different people to use their products, like different cheeses. There's cheese makers in the city.
That's right.
I just interviewed some kid from North Hills. He has a cheese company over there. Well, his parents do. It's called Goat Rodeo. You ever hear that?
I believe so. Yes.
They're killing it. They just got goat cheese that's sold in Whole Foods and shit like that. And it's just, it's cool with all these different people in the city that are doing these wild things.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, like this obviously has to bring you like some sort of buzz with like these, influencers at some point. Like you got food bloggers and everything, people come and approach you like me, for instance. Like I came and hit you up and said, you want to do this, what is, like, did you ever have like an expectation or not an expectation, but did you ever think that it would like, you're going to get interviewed about stuff like this?
I never thought that would happen. I mean, it was, any time that I meet someone new, it's great. I think that's been the biggest surprise is, over the past year, I've met hundreds of people. I mean, and that's no lie. Hundreds of people. I've worked with different businesses. I get messages all the time. Hey, would you use our product or would you have interest in doing something? I'm talking with a gluten-free bakery right now that wants me to do like a pop-up event there. And that's what's fun, and it's funny to me because, again, my account, people don't even know who I am. I have my picture that's of me and my dog, and I got my guitar. You can barely even see me.
Yeah, I was trying. Believe me, I screenshotted it and zoomed in. I was like, this dude got a dog. I was like, I think he'll be cool.
Must be okay.
Yeah, he must be all right.
Yeah, so it's funny because when I'll go somewhere and I'll rarely put a story up, and someone will be there and be like, are you the breakfast guy? And I'm like, yeah, that is me. But
weird, right?
Yeah, so it's awkward to me. It's I try to keep that part of my Instagram private, but like I said, I think that the biggest advice and recommendations I get from all the food bloggers and all the influencers is like, look, if you want people to really dive into your page, get
gotta put a face there.
You have to have a personality.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely lacking there. It's dry, but again, meeting the people.
Dry.
Yeah, it's a little dry.
That's all right though. I mean, like this is I feel like that this is like something that's like a perfect, outlet for it because, you can't really like, you can get on a live Facebook video or a live Instagram video and it's like, it's so like, I don't know. It just seems gross to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is why I started the podcast. Like, I want to hear about the people's lives, like I want to know why you do what you do. I want to hear if it's like something that you've dreamt about your entire life or if it's something that you just kind of fucking fell into.
Yeah.
Because any outcome is awesome.
That's right.
It's just interesting to kind of hear it because, you're just, you created a wave and you were able to catch it. Now you're riding it. And it's like, it's fun to hear about that. It's fun to see a breakfast sandwich page in the city. I mean,
that's right.
It's just fun to kind of be involved in it, because it's like, I don't know, you feel like whether you follow, any of the other people that are posting, like if it's someone who, like my buddy, he has an Instagram that's called I'll Have the Fish. He has like probably 30 followers, but it's just any fish dish he has. And it's hilarious because it's like, I had this fish, good, 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I want that. Like, that's everything I want in life, is just to be able to read this and just see, because it's fun, it's light, and it's cool whenever you incorporate all the other cool shit into it.
Yeah.
The city you got going, and it's interesting.
Yeah. That's exactly how this thing kind of went. It's been since day one was, winging it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any intentions.
Do you cook regularly?
I do. So that's actually, before I started this page, I had an idea that I was going to do simple like recipes, and that's when I first got onto Instagram, and I realized there's 10,000 pages.
Millions.
There's the video, and I'm like, well, I can't do this. Doesn't matter how I cook or how it tastes. It's it's about that presentation and the video, and so I couldn't do it. But I do. I cook a lot. That's it's my favorite thing to do. I like to drink beer, so I can sit down, have a couple beers. You cook. In my opinion, there's nothing more gratifying than trying something new.
Yeah,
and you get to eat it.
Yeah,
I mean, what could be better? So.
Nothing better than that.
No, not at all.
It's I don't know. It's cool. Like this. Were you someone that was like adventurous as far as like going out in the city, trying different restaurants and all that shit beforehand?
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I usually go out to eat like once a week.
Yeah.
And we like to try new places. Not as much as most, I would say. I'm a little bit a creature of habit, so I like to go with, what I know. And but we get out quite a bit. I think, again, the scene in Pittsburgh has grown a lot with the restaurants and the food trucks. So that one's a big one to us. I like my beer and I like my food. So there's breweries popping up everywhere. We go to Allegheny City a lot, 412 Brewery a lot, and they got trucks. Like, what's better? I mean, you're getting good beer from a local place that, again, that's their passion. That's
what are some of your favorite trucks? Like, put me on to some shit.
Oh, so...
Been to Streets on the Fly?
Yes, I have. Yes, I believe they were at Allegheny City one time.
They were. I interviewed one of the brewers on here before, Mike Cottle.
Okay, that name sounds familiar.
He's a lunatic biker. He's a very crazy avid biker, but this guy's also a big beer guy.
Yeah.
But I ended up talking to him on here, but... Allegheny Streets on the Fly goes over there.
They're a good one. City Fresh Pasta, I love that place.
City, I feel like I've never even heard about
it. It's a good one. They give you this nice, what seems like a small container of their different pastas, but it fills you up. And it's really good. I like the couple of the burger ones that are going around. And then the pop-ups. I love the Wise County Biscuits that does their pop-ups, and they're mostly breakfast sandwiches, and they're great. So, I mean, we explore quite a bit. We've been going a lot to one place that I love is in the North Shore called Mike's Beer Bar. The gentleman
Mike's
down
Beer
there,
Bar.
It's where the old Beerhead is, right across from PNC Park. And he had started the place. Really good guy. He now owns where Lot 17 used to be. Now he has a place called the North Shore Tavern. But it's great. He's got local beer. There's 80 taps. The food is, simple but good. It's a place that's not going to have 75 items. He has his signature dishes. People go
knows what he's good at.
Yeah, and it tastes really great. So yeah, we do. We like to get out.
What now? As far as like, we kind of talked about it whenever we were finishing cooking up there, and I feel like it's important to touch on this. So, you and I were mentioning that we're kind of in the same vein as far as like, we like sausage, eggs, bacon, eggs, toast, just kind of like the plain Jane diner stuff. We were talking about how the city, is kind of like, I don't know, becoming a little bit bougie. You got salads with lemon juice and everything on there. That's like, what is appealing about, the old school compared to like the new stuff? I enjoy the new stuff, but it's almost too much sometimes.
That's right.
it's like some things I like, but as far as like bougie wise, like I would consider Mediterranean's breakfast sandwich bougie.
Yeah.
You know, it got like mixed greens on there, some maybe a pesto aioli or something like that. And like, you know, that's not something I would usually go with, but I go there all the time and have that thing.
That's right.
But it's like, did you notice that shift as far as like, you know, the old school like Pamela's, where it's just like, you know, you get some greasy shit.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? It's good. It's some greasy shit to where it's, I don't know, is it the health, you know, craze? Like, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, the word to describe it is bougie. It's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's they're just like uppity places. You know, you'll pay your $15, $20 for a sandwich, and it's changed. It's you know, they taste good.
Yeah.
But that's not like my go-to. So it's almost like the pizza, how, you know, you want your New York football pizza,
Yeah.
so to speak, and then you have your Neapolitans and different stuff, which they're good.
What do you
They're
prefer?
great. I like my New York.
Yeah.
I just need a extra large New York style
What's your
pizza.
go-to in the city?
So Badamo's and the north side is where we usually go.
Amen.
We like Pizzeria Davide or David, whatever the hell it's called over there. But
I never
we've
know how to
been
pronounce
there
it.
quite a bit. Yeah, I pronounce it differently every time.
I think that Badamo's is my favorite. The pizza Davide, or however the hell you call it.
Yeah.
Those were some of the people. That was one of the people that left me on red.
Oh, is that right?
They left me on red, and I was like, "How dare you?"
I won't go back now.
Yeah, no, but it's like I still go eat their pizza all the time. I love a New York style pizza, but it's, I don't know. I've always been someone who's been like a foodie type person. I like to go out and we'll try things like whenever you travel. You said you travel around some decent amount.
Yes.
You know, are you someone that is like going out to like, you know, is that like a main thing for you? If me and my wife are traveling, we're Googling places to go try.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the information on what's the best place to go. Are you someone that's like that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's my favorite part of being on the road when I am is, you know, I like to go. I'll go on Yelp if I'm at a certain hotel. That's the first thing I do. But I always like to go. The best way for me is old school. I go, you know, grab a cocktail at a bar and ask the guy, hey,
Yeah, what's good?
where do I go? And
Yeah.
those are the guys that say, here's where you got to go.
That's such a underutilized resource.
Yes, very much.
You know, people are so quick to go to Yelp and click on the 1-star review
That's
and
right.
want to know why people gave it 1 star. And it's like, I get it, but you know, I've had restaurant people on here, chefs, everything, and we talk about the, you know, how Yelp is the bane of their existence.
That's right.
And I get it. You know, people pour their heart and soul into this, and you're going to get crucified for having a cold bowl or
That's
something.
right.
You know, what? Come on now.
It's tough. It's you know, it's with Yelp. It's funny because now since I've met all these people, that's where I go. Is I go to Instagram and I click on these people who follow me and the bloggers, and I'll look
Yeah.
at their page. There's like for pizza, for example, there's a Pittsburgh pizza page, and I go there. I don't even read any of the captions. I'm just looking at the
Pittsburgh pizza page.
Yeah, I think it's called Pittsburgh Pizza. They're one of my favorites. Really good. They got like a good 25,000 followers or something. And
Jesus.
it's just standard pictures of the pizza right on top. But that's what I'm looking for. I want the look.
Yeah, I like that you don't have like you don't give it too much. There's not a lot of fluff in it. Like you don't like, I don't know. There's not a bunch of extra shit in the post.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to know what it is. I like it. You know, you don't have to give it so. And sometimes I like, you know, I'm so hard on myself because whenever I'm like writing out captions of what we talk about, you know, that's sometimes where I spend most of my time.
Yeah,
is
that's
like,
right.
you know, how can I word this? You know, what do I want to say with this? Like, it's not lining up right. I got one extra word that's too long that makes it rap a certain way, and you're like, God, this is so stupid.
That's right.
And I got too many hashtags, but it's like such a dumb thing that like people that are in this like world kind of, you know, you understand the pain of it all. It's like
yes.
something so stupid people call first world problems.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is. But I find value in that, like a real, like, I just want a real review.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, that's like I said, I'd love to get to that point. To be able to go out and do the reviews. And a lot of people, it's funny because I think that part of the reason my account took off is because I would try to read. You know, I would make a comment. People love their comments, their likes, and I would just say what's on my mind. I follow a lot of people that, and you know, I can't thank them for the comments and stuff, but you know, they'll all be the same or very similar, or the likes in this. But I try to read people's posts and go through them. And you're right, some are long, some are, you know, short, no captions at all, nothing. And you know, they both work. For mine, I try to keep it short, and I think in my head, I'm like, well, what the hell can I say?
Yeah.
What more can I say about a bacon, egg, and cheese? Like, I don't know. So I may sometimes throw the weather in there and say, you know, people, I've gotten comments like, you should be putting the weather in every day. I'm like, all right. Like, that's what I'll do. So,
do you ever get any hate? I mean, you have a breakfast sandwich page. You know, what possibly could you get hate from? But I'm sure that someone has given you some negative shit.
I got some random messages about what I was cooking. I don't even remember. I didn't get too much. The most, which isn't even hate, I would say, is just some of the, you know, no responses on messages, or you try to reach out to someone and you know, like, let them know you're a human. So many people are just like, comments. I would try to be different and reach out to some people. Some of them open up, some of them don't. But, you know, the people that I've met, especially in Pittsburgh, and the bloggers and the foodies, they've all been great. You know, they're people that I never would ever know existed. I never would have met them. So,
are you mainly focusing on just like your own creations now?
At this point, yeah. I sometimes go to a couple places and I'll post, you know, their breakfast and do stuff like that. I'm going to start doing that more, to add something else to my page, is to, you know, maybe I'll do the rating. We'll see if I do that. But I like to put some more content. I've gotten a few people that reach out that want me to use some different things, and that's all great. So at this point, I kind of cook either what I have, or I'll make a little plan for, you know, the week and be able to cook something. But yeah, it's mostly all my creations and just what comes to mind that day.
I like that. It's freeing, I feel.
It is. It's, like I said, creative outlet. And, you know, I love breakfast sandwiches, and apparently a lot of people
The world does. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it was like pizza. I mean, everyone loves pizza. That's why I was so shocked when I started looking for a breakfast page, which even on a national level, there's not many breakfast pages. There's no, like, big breakfast, you know,
like well-known things.
Yeah, there's just not that many. And in Pittsburgh, I thought for sure, I'm like, well, gotta have one. There's a page for beer. There's a page, like you said, fish sandwich or whatever. Like, there's everything.
Yeah.
So I was shocked to not see anyone that had it, but you know, it works.
It does. It works. So, like, for your, I wasn't asked, you know, like I usually ask people how they get their names, but Wake Up Pittsburgh is kind of self-explanatory. You wake up, you have breakfast.
That was pretty much it. I when I decided for the name, I was going to do something that was, you know, egg, bacon, something. And I just thought that was kind of cheesy.
Excuse me.
Yeah. That might not have been too bad. But yeah, I didn't know. I'm like, I don't want to have like sausage, egg, and cheese. I was going to do breakfast sandwich guy or something.
Yeah.
So I wanted something. I came to the conclusion, like, I don't want it, you know, 100% breakfast related, but, you know, what's in the morning? So I was exploring like coffee and this.
Are you a morning guy usually?
After my coffee, yeah. So
yeah, you're a coffee guy though.
Yeah, so I need my coffee, and otherwise I won't wake up. So that was part of where actually Wake Up Pittsburgh came from, is I was thinking of like a morning name, and I thought of Wake Up, and what triggered in my mind was Wake Up San Francisco.
Full House.
Full House.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, man, that actually does got a nice ring to it. And so I'm like, maybe that's what I'll do, Wake Up PGH. And I had this list, and usually how I do things is the one that sticks out just a little bit more, I go with. So I had it there, and I had all these different, you know, bacon, sausage, this and that, and that was it. I said, screw it. You know, I'm going to go with the Wake Up PGH.
I love that.
And it's worked, yeah.
It's worked.
So far, so good.
Now, I'm curious. This might be a dumb question. Where's your preferred place to shop?
It's a great question. So,
because, I mean, people can get deep into it. You know, you got people that are advocates for Aldi, Whole Foods? Like, I'm curious to know about you.
Yeah, so I mean, where I grew up was all Giant Eagle, and
Same.
I love Giant Eagle. It can be a little expensive though, so
Yeah, definitely a little bit expensive.
it's always $75 when you go in there. But
One Giant Eagle bag.
yeah, exactly. So it's expensive. We live right in the North Shore area, so the Strip District is big to us. So I like to go over there, support the locals. You get your veggies here. I run over to Penn Mac and get my miscellaneous things. Mancini's is down there, and Woolies. I go to Woolies. It's known for its fish, but they got a ton of produce. It's good. So I like to hit up the Strip, I would say, is my go-to.
I was never someone who was I never frequented the Strip until I moved to the city. And then, I've probably been to the Strip one time in like my first 18 or actually probably 23 years of existence.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I started going down there and I was just like, God, like, why am I buying this fucking Schwabel's bread? You know what I mean? Like, why ain't I going down here and buying this good ass shit?
Yeah, it's good. It's
dogs going crazy up there.
I hear that up there. We love it. We go to the Strip quite a bit, and there's a couple places we frequent down there. A couple good restaurants. The Beer Hive. We love to go down there.
What kind of coffee do you like? I'm a coffee guy.
I hate to admit it, but I just buy my standard Folgers for $10.
Oh, really?
Make it. So I'm not.
You're not like a bougie coffee guy?
Not too big, but there's a couple places that we do go. There's one in Lawrenceville. I can't remember the name of it right now, but really good coffee. And then La Prima in the Strip. We do buy their grounds quite a bit. And that one, I would say, obviously a noticeable difference from the
Folgers.
But
yeah, for
whatever
sure.
gets the job done in the morning.
Now, this obviously isn't your full-time gig. I want to know, where the hell is my wife that she ain't taking care of that dog? This obviously isn't your full-time job.
No.
I mean, is that a goal? Is to be able to, pay your bills off of doing something like this?
I'd love to. It'd be, again, it was, I don't want to say it was a joke, but it was, something with no intention. So when I started and it took off, I looked at just, some of the financing, the math of it all, how much things cost, how much you could sell them for. I have looked at like brick and mortar locations, food truck idea would be great, concession trailers, pop-up events. I've explored it all, and I kind of hit a wall with being able to make that leap or do it. But I still think with Pittsburgh specifically that, people want that breakfast sandwich, and there's not many places to go that, you can go pick something up and get out. So I always reference New York, but that's what I love. I love the corner place that you walk into, wait in line and grab yourself a sandwich and go. And that's what I'd love to see somewhere. So, we'll see what happens with it. It would, sure beat what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
which is sales in the environmental industry. I've worked with like filtration and purification, which is
do you enjoy that?
Exciting as it sounds.
Yeah,
I like it. It's
pays the bills.
It's different, but once the pandemic and traveling and not being able to do the stuff I used to do
probably gets a little bit old.
Yeah, so I would love to, if I could explore an option in the restaurant industry. I think it would be great. So
did you have like what was like your plan before all this? Like, did you? I could go out on a limb to say that you didn't want to grow up and sell filtration.
Yeah, so it's I always wanted to own my own business. I got a family that most of my family is educators and entrepreneurs. So and that was always the end goal, is to find my niche and start something. So I'll think of an idea and I'll stay up all night and do the math and just have fun with it. But I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. But a lot of the times it'll be as simple as, all right, I can sell something for $10 and I know I can buy it for $2. Could I actually
make this
start
work?
A business? But at
Watch
the end
Shark
of the
Tank?
day, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I love Shark Tank. I actually got Mark Cuban follows my page. So
really?
Yeah, I was pumped about that. And
Holy
he was
shit.
really nice. I had I don't want to give away my secret for how I got
You don't
him,
have
but
to.
a lot of the time people, they want to know you're real. You got to reach out to people and give them something, just like on Shark Tank, to bite on. And if they, they like it or whatever. And that's kind of what I did with him. And I said, I wanted some Pittsburgh people. So I was looking up online, like Googling famous Pittsburgh people, and I messaged probably 50 of them.
Yeah.
Just to see, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's really random, I know, but a follow from a Pittsburgh person would be great. And I mean, no one responded. I didn't get any responses, and I was taking a shower the one day I came out, and it's like Mark Cuban's following. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was really cool. I had sent him a couple messages, and you're on that fine line. You don't want to
be a pest.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, let me at least, give him a follow-up message. And I told him some of my plans and stuff. And sure enough, like, my phone buzzed and I got a message back. And I'm like, how cool is this?
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Mark Cuban is like messaging me like that. That was insane to me. So
it is awesome.
Yeah. So just another cool thing that's happened along the way.
Just random shit. You're just out here just making, just seeing how it goes. Like, you know what I mean?
What a life I'm living.
What does your wife think about this?
I think she likes it. She helps me out a ton. If we do the events, you got to have someone else. So, no matter how much you prep, I need her there. She makes a lot of the sauces that we use that people like.
Oh,
and
sauces.
She's the person that like delivers the sandwich. So when I do these events, that's why most of the people, no one knows who I am.
Slide me that onion on there. You just mentioned sausage, and I made a sauce. We got to try this one real quick. This is the last one. A little bit cold, but I mean, that's all right. Made a little
That's
sauce.
fine. Oh yeah, that's good.
Not bad,
Spicy.
right?
I like it.
A little spicy, a little sweet.
Yeah. I like.
Can't
that
beat
a
it.
lot. No, that's really good. The bun's really good too.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Slept on place, Giant Eagle's Bakery.
Oh, is that right?
All this bread is from Giant Eagle.
It tastes great.
You can't beat it. I mean, Giant Eagle's bread is really, really great.
Yeah, theirs is really good. I use it quite a bit. For that, like onion style, Mediterra actually makes a really great.
Really, an onion
bun. Oh my gosh, yeah. All their stuff is really good.
Jesus, that dog's getting all buck wild up there. Now,
sandwich.
Are you someone that is like, are you someone that is? I mean, how could I even phrase it? I melike, you have this page now. Obviously, you're into it 100%, but is like, I know you said you were entrepreneurial. Like obviously, this stuck a little bit. Like, so you pivoting and kind of like, are you constantly just kind of trying to be creative on what's coming on next with this page?
At first, I really was. Well, at first, before it, even got any followers, it was just, we'll see what the hell happens. And got some comments, got some likes, got some followers. And then once the bloggers got into it, that's when I realized, like, all right, well, these are the people that I need. And so I did. I had a good stretch of probably 6 months where, I made it a point. Make sure I like everyone's stuff, comment, follow back people, reach out to as many people as I could, post some different stuff, try to host some events. And then it gets to, at least for me, you get a little tired of it. And so I kind of just sat back, and you'll notice it. You see not a decline in the followers that you're getting. So the more
plateau.
Yeah. So the more active you get, which was fun for me. I mean, I've worked in sales my whole life.
It's exhausting though.
It is. It's exhausting, and
you can only post so much. It's like, and it's like, every post that I say we, but every post that someone makes is like, it takes way more time than just like, upload a picture and just type this out. Like, some days I'll sit on these posts for like an hour and a half trying to think of just like ways to write it. It'll just be open in my notes, and I'll just rewrite it over and over and over again. And I'll send it to my wife, and I'll say, does this sound stupid? Yeah. Or I'll like say, did I fuck anything up in here? Cause I have terrible grammar. You know what I mean? I'm very transparent on here, and I'm in a constant struggle with, like, kind of adapting to what needs to be done, and me being stubborn and just doing it how I want to do it.
Yeah.
And hoping people grasp onto that and respect that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because it's just overwhelming sometimes to just think like, oh, like some days I'll go a week without posting, and I'm just like, I could just post some garbage, just to have it pop up on the feed. But it's like where's your mindset with that? It's like, are you to the point now where you're like, I'm going to post if I have something good?
That's right. It's I try to post as much as I can, which before was, every day. And I got into looking at the times I'm posting and when I should be doing it. But it seems like the longer, at least I've been on it, is the less I kind of gave a shit on, all right, I want it posted at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I want to tag whoever or do this. And so it has. It's kind of gotten to that point where, I try to get the content out to keep, the likes and the people interested. But at the same time, I'm very similar. Like, I don't want to, sit on something for 10 days and edit the picture 50 times and write 30 different captions. My thing that I tried to concentrate on was, get the okay picture and then gauge the likes. So fortunately, one thing that I've noticed with my page is I get a lot of likes.
Yeah.
And that surprised me. But each photo is getting, over 200 likes. Some of them get 400 likes. And if you go to a, more popular page or bloggers or foodies page, you may notice that they have more pictures, even better, content, this and that, but their likes may not be as much as mine. So I always prided myself in hopefully, thinking, all right, people like the breakfast sandwiches as much as I do. There's none of them out there, so that alone gets it going. So
it's
as long
fucked
as
up.
It's like, okay, I'm like, screw it.
It's just so it's such like a terrible. It's like a black hole as far as like how deep you want to go into certain things, because it's another reason that I ask you to come on here, just because it's like I want to talk to people that are like you have a brand on Instagram, basically. That's the only place your shit is. So it's like, right. How people, recognize the trends, what's happening, because, shit that you might notice, I might not know, and vice versa. And it's just interesting to hear other people's points of view, especially for someone that just kind of came into social media later in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when's the last time you used social media before this? Like used it? Like, were you on MySpace?
I wasn't. I don't even know if I had a MySpace. I know,
you know what I mean?
Like Facebook when it came out.
I'll rephrase it. It's like MySpace was like a life for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like back then, like I like enjoyed, like that was something that was like such like a big deal for like, I'm 30. So my wife, me, my friends, like that was such like a huge thing. Go on MySpace and go on, AIM and shit like that. Oh, yeah. And then like, we graduated up to Facebook, and then like you had Twitter and and then Instagram, and it was like always something that was always in my life. And it's such like a bizarre thing for me to like kind of like the place we are, you and I are just like my mindset was just different, because that was just always something that was there. That's you know what I mean? Like I always just kind of like went with the flow of everything on that. But for someone to like come to it like later in life is like, I feel like it's so overwhelming, because you have so much saturation with everything. It's like someone starting a podcast right now. It's like, no matter what, whenever I started it, it was saturated. Like, can't even imagine how many there are now.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it's like, it's almost like it's almost like an overwhelming task that like you'll never be able to climb to. Like that's how I feel.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm constantly trying to get up there with everyone else, and like trying to keep myself, grounded and being authentic. And it's like, it's interesting to hear how you think about things, and like how things work for you and how people respond to your stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. It's overwhelming. It's, when I first started it, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I would post a photo and I tagged like every Pittsburgh foodie I could. They were probably pissed at me at the time.
Are you someone that like just scrolls on Instagram? Like, do you get lost in your phone a lot?
Yes and no. With the food accounts, and you try to support the people that support you. So I'm following, I don't even know, 750 people or something.
Yeah.
I'm following my Pittsburgh people that have supported me. So, yeah, you want to scroll through, you want to see what they're posting, and I certainly enjoy it too. But with the social media, like I said, it really was never big for me. I have a Twitter that, I'd get lost in stuff that political stuff or over here that, is just all negative. So
do you have do you think it's a negative how much more time you spend on the phone? Because sometimes I look at iPhone sends you, how big of a piece of shit you are.
Yeah.
This is how many hours you spent on the phone this week. And I'm just like, God, that's crazy. But it's also at first I was real critical on myself. I'm like, that's ridiculous. But then it's this is pretty much kind of like my job. That's right. I'm trying to make this podcast my job.
That's right.
I eventually I want to be able to just pay my bills from this. And, you have to do that. You have to know what's going on. You have to be well versed. You have to kind of be up to date with what's going on in the city and what's going on around you. I have to. What is going on up there? But it's I have to kind of be in touch with all this stuff. And in turn, I'm on my phone more. It makes me feel guilty, whether it be I'm disconnected from my wife sometimes. And it's just is that something that I often that's one of the biggest questions that I ask people that have these big accounts. They're these influencers, because it feels like you're always on call.
Oh yeah. I do. The guilty is the best way to describe it. You almost feel that way. And, I try to compare it to something like Facebook, for example. I have Facebook, and, again, I'll post a picture of my dog. I do nothing with it. So I felt guilty at that time, because it's what am I doing? I'm on Facebook. I'm scrolling through my friends, weekend, and, what restaurant they went to, or on vacation with their family. And I just felt like I really wasn't doing anything. So with this account, I'm in do I spend too much time on it? I mean, in my opinion, yeah, because it's, sitting down at night, like you said, you gotta rewind and be able to disengage from it. But at the same time, it's it is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I got a following of people. They seem to enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I try to spend what I think is a lot less time than most of these accounts and bloggers do.
Yeah.
And then, I've been meeting people. It's been engaging to meet people. I've met businesses. I've met, everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Different products. So I try to justify it that way. At least something's coming from it.
Yeah. Not just getting lost in there.
Yeah. So there's, you actually interviewed Jess on here from, Hungry Jess Big City now, and she's a friend of mine. She's stopped down a few times, which I'm very fortunate, but really great girl. And she just posted a story that said, ask me anything about her social media. And my question was, do you have times where you set aside for no social media?
Yeah.
And she does. So that's the biggest thing. I think notice some of the accounts that must be putting in just hours and hours of time commenting, doing this. But like you said, some of it's a living. So guess what? If you're a foodie or a cook and you have X amount of followers and you're getting paid, guess what? That's what you do then. So, it'd be awesome. I wish I could get paid to
right
to do what I do.
That would be the best. All right, so your guy loves breakfast sandwiches. You you love breakfast in general, and I love that as well. I think that I think that you did a good explanation of how this kind of fell into your lap and how you kind of are rolling with it and kind of making the best out of what you got.
That's right.
And I like that too. I mean, that's why it's interesting. That's why you piqued my interest.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's been a unique ride. It's, it's funny because I'm not a food blogger. I don't do a lot of promotions. I'm, not a restaurant, so I don't have, a big following coming. I'm not like one of the Instagram cooks who makes a different meal every night.
Yeah.
I just have this weird niche that seemed to work. So I try to balance it out, and
you do a good job at it, though.
I appreciate that. So I get a lot of people reaching out, and I think that's part of it. Is it's a little mysterious in a way. It's no one knows who I am.
That's why I liked it.
No one knows that.
I looked at everything. I looked at your tagged photos. I looked at everything.
Yeah,
I couldn't even find your name. I couldn't find that your name was Zach. I couldn't find it, and that's why I didn't ask you in the beginning. That's why, I usually feel I almost feel bad whenever I bring people in and I'm not ready to just hit record because I just don't want to talk to them.
That's right.
Because I just want it all to come out on here.
Yeah.
So, me and you were upstairs cooking for a half hour. It's
That's
like,
right.
I was sitting there. I'm like, I don't even want to hear this. You were talking to my wife. It's like, I just want to unfold everything on here. But it's fun to learn about people, and it's fun to learn about how people, what people do that brings them joy and everyday life.
That's
and
right.
monotony.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you got something fun going on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'd certainly recommend, like you said, everyone needs some stuff to get their mind off the real world. And fortunately for me, it's as simple as making a breakfast sandwich and posting it. But
can't beat that.
I've met tons of people. I love the people who follow me, the places who've supported me, and it's been a wild ride. So we'll see what
Just
happens
beginning.
with it. Yeah,
It's just beginning.
It's only 10 months old. Who knows?
And in those
what's gonna
10 months,
happen.
that was those were the quarantine months.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Shit's about to start opening up a little bit.
That's
right.
right.
It'll be nice to, get out there, flap your wings a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to
looking
do some
forward to
live events in here. It'll be nice to get out there. Maybe we get something going.
I was
A little
gonna say,
morning
if you ever
event.
need someone to cook over here for an event, you let me know.
Yeah, we'll get something going for sure. We'll definitely get something going. All right, now let's get into the ending segment that I do with all my guests.
Yes.
It's an ending segment called Desert Island Questions.
Oh.
All right, so the ending segment is whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island and use until they die. Starve to death and die.
right.
So the first category, you get 3 movies. You get a TV with an integrated DVD player, and you only get 3 DVDs.
Only 3 DVDs.
What are they?
Jeez. First Jurassic Park.
Amazing.
I love the first Jurassic Park.
so good.
I'm not sure why the other ones all sucked. I don't know how it declined so bad.
Are you current on Shark Tank?
Yes.
Did you see
To
the
a
guy who
degree.
just made them life-size dinosaur animatronics?
Yes, I did see
I thought that was so cool.
That's really cool.
Because that was the guy who was doing a lot of the shit for Jurassic Park, he said.
Yes, that's great. So that would 100% Jurassic Park. I love Jaws. The first Jaws was really good.
And you know why they're so good is that they're not using fucking CGI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
right.
takes away so much. It's like the 90s version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies that have came out in the last couple years.
Yeah, that's right.
It's bullshit.
I don't know how it's declined so bad, but I mean, Jaws and Jurassic Park were good examples. There was one on the other day. I don't know which Jaws it was, and I mean, it's really bad, like bad. So those would be a good ones. I love Blow with Johnny Depp.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I just did see that. I followed him a lot, so that was sad to see him go. But those would be off the top of my head. Those would be my 3.
Those are good movies. Those are a good 3 because Jurassic Park is definitely something that I could watch over and over. It's like Back to the Future.
Yes.
It's like you can just put it on all the time. If it's on TBS, it's just on.
Yeah.
It's like Shawshank. But that's a good 3. You got Jurassic Park, Jaws, and then
And Blow.
Blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good variety. You can't beat
Yeah,
that.
that's good. Yeah, I love my.
You got some good scores along the ways.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's good. And I'm more of a, which I mean, obviously Jurassic Park and Jaws don't fit it too well, but I'm a nonfiction person, so I love my crime documentaries, crime movies,
Yeah.
underground economy, drug dealing, gambling. I love all.
Have
that
you
kind of
watched?
stuff.
Have you watched Snowfall?
I have not. No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh my goodness! You ever watch Breaking Bad?
I did, but surprisingly, I have not watched it the whole way through.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I started, and usually what happens is I have
Burns
a
you
tough
out.
time like sitting down with stuff and getting through it. And that one I liked, and then I think my wife went ahead and watched everything before I did.
Ozark?
So Ozark, I watched a little bit of, but
Oh, wow.
that's one's been recommended too. So
Snowfall is, it has a lot of truth based in it. It's about like, the early 80s crack epidemic in like South Central and how a kid goes from selling weed to being like the big dog.
yeah,
And
I love that.
it's honestly, I put it above Breaking Bad. It takes a lot for me to even say that, and obviously this show probably wouldn't be here without Breaking Bad and that sort of format, but it's fantastic.
I'll check it out.
The music is like old school, like funk shit, and it's just like, it's on FX, but it's not like on TV. This is why I still don't understand how this works. If you watch it on Hulu, FX, there's fucks, they're yelling all this shit in there, completely rated R. I don't know how it's on FX.
Yeah.
I don't know how if it's on TV, but it's a good show, and it's definitely worth looking at.
I will do
Second category.
that. Yes.
All right, now I usually ask people 3 books, but I'm going to change it. I want to know if you could go to 3 breakfast places to eat in the city. Only 3.
That's a tough one, and I'm glad you cut out books. I didn't want to get embarrassed there.
So many people, I ask books to everyone, but so many people were like, dude, I don't read.
Yeah.
So my downfall or my backup is 3 video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was never. My ADD is a little bit too bad for me to read.
I got about 16 books over there, read about 2 of them.
Yeah.
I just need to get to them.
Yeah, that was never my cup of tea at all. But for breakfast, yeah, that's gosh, I do like Pamela's and DeLuca's. I'd have to throw, I think DeLuca's in there would certainly be one. What else? There's a place called Marshall's. They're on Spring Garden, the north side, and they're on
wow.
a sit down. It's just a breakfast sandwich. It's a little convenience store, but they're what I like, which is simple bacon, egg and cheese, sausage, egg and cheese. They make all their stuff homemade. It's greasy. It's got the butter. It tastes really good. That'd be on there.
Marshall's.
And yes, Marshall's. And the third, what would it be? I do like the speckled egg in town. I'd throw that on the list.
They got good stuff. Okay, now a bonus question. Who has the best fast food breakfast?
For me, it's McDonald's. The 2 for $4 sausage, egg, and cheese. You can't beat it. And people have messaged me before and asked me that a lot. They're like, come on. And I tell people, like, I think I mentioned it upstairs here today, like, it's good. It tastes good.
It is good.
It's not terrible for you, but, I mean.
Now, I've noticed that you posted some Eggo waffle sandwiches.
I did.
Are you a fan of the McGriddles?
So I am not, actually, at all. I don't like... for something, I don't like sweets at all, so I think it was a hair too sweet for me.
Wow.
I have used a company here in Pittsburgh called Jenny Lee. They make this swirl cinnamon bread, and that's about as sweet as I could go.
Jenny Lee is in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they're great. They're really good.
Jeez.
Really good people.
You know these people?
I was fortunate to meet them. Yeah, I did.
I'm going to have to link up with them, get a bread person up in here.
They're really good.
I would love to talk to them.
Yeah, really good guy. I think their history is their company it went out of business for a few years, and he brought it back, focusing on this cinnamon swirl bread. And
I know exactly what it is. That was like a staple in my house growing up.
Yeah.
My mom would just make cinnamon swirl bread with butter and cinnamon on it.
It's really good.
And it's all day.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, McGriddles, no, I never got into them.
That's interesting.
The Eggos are just, that was another random one. I don't even know what made me do that, but
those are an underrated bread option.
it was really good.
It's an underrated bread option. You got a nice sweetness in it. It's almost like a biscuit that has like a little hit of sweet on it, if it's brushed with like a honey or something.
That's right.
But, my go-to was like, whenever I was younger was peanut butter and jelly on an Eggo waffle.
Oh, that'd be really good. Yeah, it's
Put you onto something.
I thought, I have this little menu that I keep at home of if I ever had a breakfast place, especially a breakfast sandwich is what it would be. I want my core items, and that Jenny Lee, people really liked when I made that.
Yeah,
I love Mediterra's English muffins.
Yeah,
and Eggos were a third one because I think it's good to have. Although people are like, well, Eggos.
I saw they shouted you out on there whenever you posted it.
That was great. Yeah, they sent me a mail. Can I use your stuff? And I said, sure. They even told me, we don't really do this that often. We don't really work
like
with
reposts.
people. Yeah, we don't really post pictures, and I looked and they really don't. So that was cool. That was again, another surprise. But they would be one. I'd like to have something that's although Egos is like you associate it with like a younger kid getting
Yeah.
It's still good, and it gives it that everyday item that that may be a breakfast option for me on one of my menus one day.
I'd say okay. Those are good. Those are all good answers. You got good answers. Third category. I'm pretty curious about this. You get to pick 3 CDs.
Oh man. Well, I would say so. My all-time favorite band is Sublime.
Oh wow!
Which I like a ton of music, but that one was the first band when I was 12 years old that got me into the band, which is really important to me. So all the music I like, I'm one of those nerds that knows everything about every band member. But that was a big one. So I would say probably 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime would be a good one for me. The live Woodstock CD is one that my mother was my mother was more into the hippie stuff, the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Jimi Hendrix, the band, the Dead, and that was really great. And my dad really loved the rock stuff, the Zeppelin, the Stones, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses. So I kind of got it all together. But that really got me into the older music. It got me into live music. Was
the live Woodstock.
Yeah, nothing's better than live music. So I would certainly be that Woodstock. And then, number 3, I really love the first Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Can't beat it.
Front to back is, everyone loves the core songs, but man, the minus the Sweet Child, the Paradise City, the Welcome to the Jungle, all those songs are great, but the other songs on that album are just kick ass. And to me, that was one that there's a certain attitude with that band, and that album from the second it starts is just in your face.
That's good stuff.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
I just listened to AC/DC Back in Black again, like through, I remember probably 6th, 7th grade, it was always like, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, just stuff like that, and Rolling Stones and all that. And it's good music.
Oh,
you can't beat it.
Yeah. It's, I don't listen to a ton of new music, which I think is my fault. So I try not to comment on it. I'm not going to sit here and say new age stuff sucks or whatever, but,
you like anything new current?
I haven't listened to a lot of new stuff. There's, rarely ever. And I think it's...
What's the last live show you've seen?
The last live show I went to, and I go to a ton. Now I got to think since it's been so long.
I know, it's sickening.
I want to say it was either Tedeschi and Trucks Band. They played out at Robert Morris, which was really good bluesy jazz, Southern rock style music. Or I did go see Brit Floyd, which is a Pink Floyd cover band.
Oh, wow.
Down at the Benedum. So I think that was it. I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's been a while.
I had tickets to Rage Against the Machine.
Oh my gosh!
And then they had to reschedule it.
Are they still doing? Are they coming?
I think that they're. The last time I checked, it was like September of this year now.
Okay,
but it's like I didn't want to wait over a year, so I got a refund on my tickets.
Oh man, yeah. I'm hoping I'm going to try to buy some last minute tickets. That's usually what I do, is because the concerts are so damn expensive.
You're going to get destroyed.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about it. I almost spent $475 on Bob Saget tickets the other day, and then I held myself back. I was like, Bobby, I love you. Wake Up San Francisco, but it's
put
like
on Full House instead.
Yeah, I'll watch Half Baked. But
yeah, it's expensive. I mean,
it's crazy.
A lot of at least with what I've noticed is I don't feel like people like live music anymore. So if I go to a show, it's tough for me, and I like older music, so it's tough for me to get my friends to,
I'm not someone
Clapton. No one wants to go.
I'm not someone who is like, I have records here, and like I like music, but I'm not someone who's like a crazy audiophile. Like,
yeah,
I've listened to Ready to Die from Biggie Smalls a million times. Still don't know the lyrics to anything. I enjoy what I enjoy, but I'm not a crazy audiophile. I enjoy live music. I I'll be happy whenever it comes back. You know,
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll definitely be happy whenever it comes back. Last show that I was at was probably Rack and Tours.
Oh, okay.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
Jack White's an animal. You know what I mean? Can't beat it.
Yeah, I did see him at, I think it was Warp Tour or whatever came around. I went
Oh,
just to
wow.
go see those guys. So
That's a big one.
yeah, I'm looking forward to live music. That's my favorite.
Okay, so the third to last question
Yes.
is the death row meal. So you get to pick whatever you want to eat from wherever you want, as much as you want. I need a appetizer, a main course, and a dessert.
Appetizer, main course, and dessert. Appetizer. I would say Mike's Beer Bar in the North Shore has really good soft pretzels. And I like them. So they're good. They come with the honey mustard, cheese. And they're simple. They're good, though. They taste really great. So I'd take that as an appetizer. Main course. Gosh, I love my pizza so much. Like, it'd have to be maybe Bedamo's over there on the north side having that all the time, or Pizzeria David down there. And dessert, I hate sweets. I can't stand them.
Really?
Yeah, I hate chocolate. I hate sweets.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's my wife is like addicted to them, and
You don't eat like ice cream or nothing?
I would eat ice cream. So maybe if I had to say something, I would say some ice cream from what's the place in the Strip District there? Slipping my mind. here
Millie's?
at the moment. Not Millie's.
Clavon's.
Yes, Clavon's. So
Another person that left me on red.
yeah,
Clavon's.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop going.
They
there,
left
too.
me on red. But what can you expect with a candy store that's been there since 1800s?
Yeah, that's right. So that would be my go-to if I'd have to do something. Yeah.
All right, good answers. Okay, second to last question. I am sponsored by Turner's Tea.
Yes.
I used to do something called the Turner's Crate, where I would let each person pick a question that was submitted by other guests, but since we're in COVID times and since I lost a lot of them on the move, I ask everyone this question. If you're getting ready to go on a road trip, walk into a gas station, you get one snack, what is it?
Ooh. Usually what I buy is either combos or Chex Mix.
Fuck, everyone picks combos.
Yeah, the pizza combos. Usually it's the Chex Mix, though. Or I love my sunflower seeds. Old school David sunflower seeds.
That was the last person who was on here who picked David
is that
sunflower
right?
seeds. Yeah. His name's Fancy Bread.
Well, then I'll go with the Chex Mix. Then.
All right. I mean, they're all good. All right. So the last question that I ask everyone, if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow. It's deep.
It's a deep one. It can't be a loved one.
Whew, that's a tough one. Gosh, I'd have to think about that, but let me think of something here quickly for a response. I'd love to talk to, I'd say Michael Jordan for me. I grew up watching Michael Jordan. I mean, I love him. I think his attitude, after watching that Last Dance, and you got to see him a little bit. I just
Unreal.
think it'd be cool to talk to him. And
Dude's
for
a
me,
nut.
like, real gangsters move in silence. And he's one of those guys, you see all these new age athletes, and it's, everyone's yapping about something, and that guy has sat back.
He don't give a
stayed
shit.
out of the media.
He's in his bag.
Yeah, and he's making the money. I mean, and he's the GOAT. I mean, there is no...
There ain't no one better than that.
No one's going to be better than him. And
I think
it'd be
everyone's
him for me.
always like, oh yeah, LeBron, and I'm just like, LeBron wouldn't even be here if Michael Jordan wasn't there.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean? Like it falls. It goes in levels. You know what I mean? Like
he gets he has a lot of hate on him. I was never a LeBron fan at all. I respect the guy for. He seems like a family guy. The guy's been famous since he's been 14
Who,
years
LeBron?
old. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like, what are you going to do? This
you
guy
got to
could
show
be-
respect to him, but it's
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like Michael Jordan laid a foundation for everything. And
right.
watching that documentary, unreal.
Yeah, he was Jordan was a killer. I think
And he's an
LeBron's
animal on the
good.
golf course.
Yeah. He's a beast. The gambling.
He just loves it. That guy's just a competitor. He's just a competitor.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that.
Yeah, and you could see it in him, and so he would certainly be one of them. If I had to sit down, that may change to think about it. But MJ's MJ.
That's a good answer. Zach, I mean, I appreciate you coming over and talking to me about this. I know that, probably not used to it, just talking about your Instagram account and everything, but I thought it was interesting. You know what I mean? It's interesting. I appreciate you making me a breakfast crunch wrap. I think that we had a good little smorgasbord here.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it up here as soon as we're off the air. But no, I can't thank you enough. It like I said, took me out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I got to meet someone new. You're a great guy. I think what you're doing here is really good. So
I appreciate that.
I can't thank you enough, and you got a follower and me here.
I appreciate that. Now tell everyone else where they could follow you and kind of check out your stuff.
That's right. So most everything I do, well, all of it is on Instagram, which is at WakeUpPGH, and I try to keep up with the daily content. I do some breakfast pickup events that are out of the North Shore, and I will post some stories with updates on when those will be. But follow me on there. I try to stay active. I try to keep the content coming. And, if something grows in the future and I decide to do something with the actual sandwiches, maybe I'll be on some other platforms there as well.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. Everyone else that's listening, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a follow at WakeUpPGH, at I'll Call You Right Back. I got good people coming up every week. I mean, every week we got some good people coming up. But thanks for listening. See you next week. Call you right back.